and I've just ripped the skins off with a knife, and I just got the meat and I just made them into little balls. So that's all you need to do. Pork sausages, if you're Italian, are really highly flavoured. Most ones from supermarkets are 35% pork. That's the minimum requirement by law. You go to a local butcher, you're going to get 50% pork. When I say pork, the rest is bits and pieces. Alright, so most supermarkets, if you have a look at it, we always check it out, they can't go less than 35%. And then they'll put 36% of beef, meat. They call it meat, spleen, lungs, livers. Alright?
Yum.
Yum. But the Italians do it well, and it's really seasoned nicely. Okay? So these here, this is the meat, and I've got layers and layers of those. So I'm going to grill them on the flat plate, and I'm going to do risotto on the side. So, the pan hot. Alright, so who's made risotto at home? Only a good few. It's easy to do. If you have one of these, 7 minutes. If you don't have one of these, 45 minutes. Stirring, drinking, stirring. Alright, so, alright, just quickly, Hales, if you want to get the camera out. So, pan on. Whack of extra virgin olive oil. And if you're cooking garlic with anything, cook the garlic first on its own for at least 20 seconds on low temperature. So before this gets too hot, because if you burn the garlic, if it goes dark brown, chuck it out, you stuffed it up. If it's too bitter, you can't eat it. Alright? If you're doing a bolognese sauce or lamb shanks or ossobuco, have everything ready prepared. So that's ready. This is one brown onion, finely diced. And I'll make 6 cups of risotto finished. And you need to know the ratios, that's the thing. You need to get the ratios right. So I'll just crank that up on high. Here we are. So there's many rices in this world. This is the one that absorbs the most amount of liquid. For every cup of this, you need 2 1/4 cups of liquid. When you do long grain rice, jasmine rice, basmati rice, that's 1.5 to 2. 1.5 cups of rice to 2 cups of stock. So this one is soup absorbent. Sushi is 1 to 2. This is 1 to 2 1/4. So sushi rice, nearly as absorbent. Alright, so garlic. Smell and see it. Alright, as soon as you get that smell of it, you know what's going on. Oh good, you can do 2 jobs together. 10 seconds, and the idea is you're now building up the flavours. You can chuck the whole bloody lot in at once. Yes, it's going to cook. It's not going to have that refined, beautiful, smooth flavour. So, that's 1 brown onion. There we are. What I should have done was heated the stock. Anyway. How big is this? How many megajoules?
15 megajoule oil burner, 16 megajoule off burner.
16.
So, and the 6 burner, we've got 90 megajoules of heat in the barbecue. 160 total.
Pretty good. Alright, so these pork balls are going to take around 4 minutes. So when I put the lid on that, I'm going to chuck them on here and do them together. I often do this at home. I'll have risotto going there, I'll have chorizo sausage in the middle here, sliced up, and I'll have grilled veggies barbecuing on the side. By the time the risotto's done, I add the whole lot, and there's a beautiful mixture of chorizo, Spanish sausage, and roasted veggies, smoky flavour, and a beautiful rice. And it's, you know, my burner in the kitchen isn't as powerful as that. So I do a lot of this outside. Keep stirring it, Hales. And then, so I've got in here 2 cups of cannaroli risotto rice. It's the best, but you're worth it. So I splurged. Alright? Don't wash this off, don't soak it. That's pretty good. Just stir it that side, Hales.
Don't drop that camera.
So that's 2 cups of rice, so I need 4.5 cups of liquid. 4.5 cups is 1 litre and half a cup. So a cup is 250. So in there, that was chicken stock, 1 whole cup, 1 litre. Alright. So I need 1 1/4. So I'm going to use some Riesling, which is sweet. And something sweet with pork is beautiful. You know, you can go the whole hog and go apple cider, apple and pork, stunning. Alright, but I didn't have any. So I need half a cup. Cheers. Most chefs cook with wine, like this. Alright, so what we're doing there, anything that's stuck, we're doing, yeah, pretty good.
You need a straw, but.
Just move it around so nothing's stuck, put up on high, and then we add the rest of the liquid. Alright, so if that was hot and boiling, which I normally would have, within about a minute, the whole thing's boiling and it's ready to go. But that's all good. So the choice of wine is really important. Now, if you're going to do this with some beef, perhaps, then go for a nice Shiraz. If you're going to do fish, like a fish risotto, a nice unwoody Chardonnay works really well. Just change it around. So we bring that to the boil, and then we add the lid. And most of these, so this is Tiefel, French, looks like a safe door. They're the only ones that use silicone, pure silicone in their seals. A lot of the others are just heat-proof rubber, but the French, they're just pretty smart. And it's a good habit if you have one of these, to every time you wash these babies out, remove it, wash it, rub a bit of oil on that, and you'll get 2 or 3 years out of it. And you know when it's worn out, it just doesn't seal properly. Alright, so that's ready to go. And these have 1, 2 and a little steam symbol. Can you grab that? Yeah. So the steam symbol there means when that's on that marker, it releases the steam. And I'll show you when that's going off because it goes nuts. 1 is for low pressure, so if you want to do more delicate foods like chicken breasts and seafood, you use that, which is about 8 pounds per square inch. If you want to go super intense, you go number 2, brings it up to 16 pounds per square inch inside. So the way risotto works is, when you're stirring it, you make it yourself, you're trying to get the creaminess coming up. And that's really nice. And it happens by stirring it and adding the stock or the wine. In here we can't stir it because it's sealed, but when this is up in full flight, inside the pan the rice is doing it like this, it's just moving everywhere, it's going mad because it's under pressure. And also water, you can get liquids at about 112 degrees, whereas in a pot without a lid, it's 100 degrees regardless. Sometimes it's a little bit less, but in here, because it's under pressure, much more intense, hence you can cook foods a lot quicker. I don't suggest, like with pressure cookers, that I do slow braises, because sometimes you need the time for the flavours to develop, okay? So I can do lamb shanks in about 30 minutes tender. But if I do them in the oven, or in here, the hood down for 3 hours, the best, because it's just the mixing of the solids and the liquids, the meat and the veg with the sauce is what really works. So, all right, so it's a bit of steam coming off, so it's always more efficient when you heat things up with a lid. So this one here goes on, and then push that, and it's a bit wobbly because there's no pressure. What happens is as it starts to get hot, and steam builds up, pot starts to swell a little bit. I wouldn't be sitting too close, but you might be right. And then, the hardest thing with pressure cookers is releasing the pressure, because you can't open these babies up. You can't get a jimmy, you'll kill yourself. There's really only 2 ways. One, put it on release, and it will squirt steam for about 2 minutes, which means you're overcooking the food because it's still under massive pressure. Or 2, my method is I put the thing in the sink and I run. Who's got the pressure cooker? You have?
Oh, I've used it many times, yeah.
Yeah, do you use the cold water method over the top?
Yeah.
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 You sure?
What are you going to say? Hot water might be better, but no cold water.
So what we do, it's super hot, and you put the whole thing in the sink at home, and you turn the cold water tap on and let the water gush over the top. I'm going to do it in a bucket. But I did this with E.T. A couple of years back, out in the bush. He wanted risotto in the bush. He said, "Can you do it?" I said, "Yeah." You don't ever say no. Yeah, no worries. And I thought, how the hell? Because I think it was a saffron and chorizo risotto, and we served it with some Basque roper. And I thought, I'm going to have to do something. So I had a litre bottle of water, and I just put the whole thing on the grass, and the cameraman's there, and I'm just pouring my drinking water. And I thought, there's a little nipple, and it pops down when it's ready. And I nearly ran out of my whole litre, and I thought, if it doesn't come down, this whole thing isn't going to work, I tell you. And the last drop went, and he went, "Oh, she
tea.
Unrestricted.
In my mind,